I have been wanting a Steam Deck for a while, but it was never in the budget. I was saving for a gaming PC first, which took me quite a while to save up for. And when I was finally ready to get the Steam Deck, it was sold out. So that was really unfortunate, but I just kept watching every single day for it to finally come back in stock. And then they raised the prices quite a bit. In Canada, they raised it $500, which is crazy. $500. And I was sort of struggling because I'm like, should I buy it now? I had the money saved up. I mean, $500, that's a lot. Even when I heard the States number, which was like $300, I was like, ooh, pretty crazy. But then I realized in Canada, it's 500. I realized I just could not get a Steam Deck. I can't justify it for what it is, and I was quite sad. I was really looking forward to getting a Steam Deck. I love my Switch and my Switch 2. I love handheld gaming. I work at my computer all day, and I've got issues with my joints. Sitting for long periods of time can get kind of painful. I do have a walking pad that's actually behind me currently, and the walking pad has definitely helped a lot, but the most comfortable I am is when I'm on a bed or reclined on a couch. Sitting in a chair is just never as comfortable in my body. When I do, I'm normally crisscross applesauce, or I do something which I know is horrible for my spine, but I put my knees to my chest and I sit in like a little ball, like a little cocoon. And it's just one of the only ways I can find comfort in sitting. So my Switches have opened up a lot of possibility of where I can game in my house. I don't strictly have to game at my computer. I can game on the couch or on my bed. I can game on the floor if I wanted. And in that way, I love handhelds. But the Switch is not very powerful. And I also have a Steam library, so it just made sense. Get a Steam Deck. And I was so excited watching a million YouTube videos, planning it out. It was my dream. But that price increase for what the Steam Deck is, I can't justify it. And then I was looking at all the other options, and I'm not techie. I also don't really love the process of like being techie. I modded my 3DS. That was so easy. That was pretty techie for me. And I actually did enjoy that process, but that process is my least favorite part. My favorite part is playing. My favorite part is having the thing being functional so I can use it. It's not the actual process of tinkering that I enjoy. And it just seems like the other options, there's a lot of tinkering going on. And they're also very expensive. So I don't know. I would love to get a handheld that can play my Steam library one day. And I do hope that I'll be able to in the future. But for now, I got an Xbox. It's sitting right behind me. I got the Xbox Series X. So how are these things even comparable, right? That's not a handheld. Okay, that's stationary. I cannot take that anywhere. I cannot take that outside. I could hypothetically move it room from room, but I would need to have a TV in that room. So I can't be on the go with it. And in that way, the two machines are incredibly different. So how did I even go from point A to point B? Well, I already had the money saved up for the Steam Deck. And I was thinking to myself, gee golly, I want to play GTA 6. I really want to play GTA 6 when it comes out. I just feel like it's going to be a big moment, and I want to play it right when it comes out. I don't want to play it after everyone else has already played it and everyone else has already experienced it and all of its downfalls and the best parts and all the controversies and all the praise. The hype will die, and I want to be there for the hype. I've never been there for the hype of a game ever, and I just think it would be cool and a fun moment. Have I played the other GTA games? No, but I'm working on it with my new Xbox. So as I was thinking about how much I do want to play GTA 6, I thought, well, I'm going to need to get a console for that because it's not going to come out on PC right away. And then it kind of got me thinking, I already have this money saved up to make gaming more comfortable for myself. If I got a console, I could sit elsewhere than my desk to game, which is the most important part, in my opinion, of getting the Steam Deck. I love my Switch, and I don't play it more because it's convenient to just pick up and go. I play it because I like the games. I do play it in handheld mode quite often, so I do like it in that way, but I also love playing my Switch docked. I have my Switch 2 at my computer, and I play it docked quite often, and it's just connected to my monitor, and then I have my Switch 1 in the living room, and I like playing that one docked as well, and I used to play it all of the time, especially in the living room, because it was so nice to sit on the couch and just play Breath of the Wild or Animal Crossing or whatever it is I wanted to play. I was actually even hoping to get the extra piece of hardware or whatever that you can dock the Steam Deck so I could play it on my bedroom TV. So I do like playing on TVs, is what I'm trying to say. And it kind of got me thinking about why I actually wanted a Steam Deck, and although I still would like a handheld gaming device that can play Steam, thinking about the pros of a console for my lifestyle and the pros of a Steam Deck for my lifestyle, a lot of them overlap. there's a Venn diagram, and there's a lot of overlap happening, which is what made me decide I should look into getting a console. Funny enough, I actually decided this yesterday. It was only yesterday that I thought maybe I should get a console. Initially, I thought I'm gonna get a PlayStation. It makes more sense. I already have a computer, and I've heard that PlayStation wants to step away from releasing their exclusives on the computer, and there are exclusives that I want to play. The new God of War game, Lave, I do really want to play that one. I'm honestly thinking that I'm gonna maybe ask my little brother if I can steal his PlayStation while he's at work one day and just try and like play as much of it as I can. And I'm sure there'll be other PlayStation exclusives that I want to play eventually. But then I was also hearing talk that PlayStation might be making a new console end of 2027, beginning of 2028. So in like a year and a half, 2 years. So would I want to just like wait until that new console comes out to get a PlayStation? And I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. The Xbox is also slightly cheaper than the PlayStation in Canada. I believe it's like a $90 difference. So that kind of got me a little more interested in the Xbox Series X. And then I found out the Xbox Series X is backwards compatible, not with every game, and it doesn't like just like read the disc. It reads the disc to figure out what game it is, and then it like downloads it online, and then that's how you play it. So you're not like really playing it off of the disc, which I don't like as much because it feels a little more digital. I believe it'll also give you the like updated version, which has its pros and cons. Sometimes it is nice to experience something at its original state rather than like this upgraded version. But it made me really curious because in my like ideal world, in my dream world where I have billions of dollars to spend, I would love a PS2 and an Xbox 360 so I can play some of those older gen games. And that's what I've heard people say is like the best option. Get a PlayStation 2 and an Xbox 360. That those consoles are the best of each respective generation. And I know not all games are backwards compatible, but it would allow me to start collecting Xbox 360 games or even like original Xbox games if I wanted to, and then hopefully one day be able to get the consoles. I just really like collecting physical media. I really, really, really love collecting old physical media that you can find at any thrift store. It would be pretty lucky to find an actual good retro Xbox title at the thrift store, and I have looked basically every time I go because I am curious about these older consoles, and I haven't found anything yet, but I just like that is a possibility. I really love the hunt, and I just really love physical media so much. Especially physical media that you can pick up secondhand. It already has a little bit of a story. It's already so old. There's a certain aspect to that sort of collection that you just don't get when you go to a store and you pick up a game. But that is also something that really intrigues me, like going to a store, picking up a new game, having it physically. I love that. I have that option with my Switch. And I picked up my first game yesterday for my Xbox that I bought yesterday, and it was so fun. It was kind of scary though because I went to Walmart. I had to ask the lady to like unlock the case so I could like grab the game, and I'm always really horrified to do that. I don't know why. Asking people to open the little jail cells in Walmart really scares me, but I did it, and I got the like OG 3D Grand Theft Autos, the like classic ones, the definitive edition, I believe is what it's called. It's over on my shelf right now. You probably can't see it. I believe it's right there. I played some last night. Of course, I was so excited to just crack into it. It took forever to download, but that's okay. And then I played it some more this morning. I am loving it. I've been playing GTA 3. I guess the original games are like very not what you think of when you think of GTA. Like they're like top down, like pixely art things. Are quite old, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I actually didn't know that. But I guess GTA 3 is sort of like what you think of when you think of like 3D GTA. So that's what I've been playing, and I've been having so much fun with it. I do know that they're like updated versions, and I would really love to experience like OG games. I don't know why I find value in experiencing like what it was when it came out. Because obviously quality of life improvements, graphic improvements are great, but there's just something about it. I don't know that I enjoy about the idea of playing something that is so old, exactly how it was experienced so many years ago. This video, I've been jumping around a lot. It's a very weird timeline. But what I should say is, I sort of decided I was going to get an Xbox, but I was still discussing it. I was still like, I don't know if I want an Xbox. I don't know if I'm even going to get a console. When do I get it? Do I get it now? I'm kind of scared of prices going up. So should I wait, or should I just buy it now? Do I even need it? I don't know. There's so many questions. And then my boyfriend was like, doesn't your younger brother have an Xbox? And I said, no. he hates Xbox. Why would he have an Xbox? I thought that's why he got his PlayStation. It's because he had an Xbox and he hated it, so he bought a PlayStation. And I said, I don't think so. I think he was just playing on his computer with an Xbox controller and he didn't like it, so he got a PlayStation controller and that's why he has a PlayStation. Because there's no way he just has an Xbox sitting around in his bedroom. So I message him. I say, do you have an Xbox? He says, yes. I say, how much? And he says, how much do I play my Xbox? And I say, no. How much for it? He says, I don't know, I think I got it for like $600. I can't quite remember. And he lives in the same house as me, so I hear him a few rooms over go, just look it up online. He's talking to somebody on Discord, I guess, explaining what we're talking about. And then I text back like, no, how much would I have to pay you for your Xbox? And I hear him in his room go, oh. And he texts me back, he says, $5. And I say, I'm not scamming you. I really want to buy your Xbox. Like, seriously. I think he said $40, and I was like, no, I can't just pay you $40 for your Xbox, your brand new Xbox that you barely used. I ended up paying him $100, which I still feel weirdly horrible about. He's such a kind person, and he was like kind of happy about it. He's like, well, now I don't have to worry about selling that thing because I did not want to have to deal with Facebook Marketplace, which is honestly fair enough. Facebook Marketplace is terrible. You could have an item for free, and people will still try to make you go lower. Like, it's not possible. Like, I'm not paying you money. Okay, I'm not going into the negatives for this. Just please. Anyways, he's too kind. $100 for an Xbox Series X is a steal of a deal. Facebook Marketplace, I think they go for like $400 to $450. Where in my area, brand new, it's $750, I believe. Although I will say there was some dried pop, I think, on it because it was sticky. So I did have to wipe down this one little area, got it all nice and clean, but now it's clean. I was kind of scared that it was gonna explode when I turned it on, but it didn't explode. I did have to borrow my printer cable because he didn't have an HDMI cord or the power supply. He lost both of them. Well, he lost both of them for his PlayStation, so then he stole his Xbox cords to make his PlayStation run. So I found a random HDMI cord, and then the power supply was the exact same as my printers, and I looked at the numbers. Somebody online said that the numbers on the Xbox One was like 7A125V. I think. I'm just pulling that off at the top of my head, and I looked at my printer's one and it said the same thing. So I just was like hoping and praying that it wasn't gonna like melt the second I turned it on. I don't know anything about cords or anything about technology, so it could explode, and I was a little scared, but it didn't explode. So that's great. I'm going to be going to Best Buy later today so I can get a new cable because I do want my printer to be able to turn on, and maybe another game. I don't know. We shall see. Maybe I'll stop at GameStop. Does GameStop have retro games? I've been in a GameStop like once, and it was to get the physical version of Tamagotchi Life. So I don't know. We shall see. Please, please, please let me know any games that you recommend me to pick up for my Xbox. I just love saying that, my Xbox. I just want to say, because my brothers had an Xbox growing up. They had an Xbox 360, and I was so jealous. They would let me play with them on rare occasions. We would play Halo 4. I believe it's the Halo that we played. You could build in it, and I just would try and build a house. I loved building little houses and little structures, and I would try and decorate it all cool, and then they would come and they would shoot it and explode it, and I was very sad every time I couldn't play the game how I wanted to. And I'd also occasionally play zombies, Call of Duty Zombies with them, but I was also horrified of zombies, so they would be like, you want to play? And I'd be like, I love playing that game. I would love to. And then I would have nightmares and cry myself to sleep because I was so scared. But I could never touch it if they weren't playing it. And it was really just on their terms. And I was so jealous. I wanted to play it, and now I have one, and it's mine, and I can buy any game that I want, and I can play in my bed. Last night I had Sour Patch Kids, I had hot chocolate, I had some original chips. I was living my dream life. Like, it was glorious. And I'm so excited to start collecting games, and it feels so different. I don't know what it is, but with a Switch, with a cartridge, it just isn't the same as putting a disc in. There's something about a disc. Maybe it's the nostalgia. I don't know what it is entirely in my brain that just, there's like fireworks. It just feels so incredible that I have this console. The fact that I just woke up yesterday and I was like, should I get a console? And then just the cards aligned. Now I have one. I'm so happy with the decision. And if there was a universe in which my younger brother did not have the console and did not sell it to me, I would tell that multiverse version of myself do it. Buy the new Xbox. I think it was a fantastic decision for what I want specifically. I do still want a PlayStation one day, of course. I think ideally I would have both. It just makes sense. But I'm just so happy. I'm so excited to start collecting games. I'm so excited to start playing games. I also love that you can use it as like a Blu-ray player because I do really like collecting movies a lot. So now I can watch them in my room. It was just a wonderful purchase. I'm so happy that I went that route. I do think if the Steam Deck didn't go up in price, I would have been very, very, very happy with the Steam Deck. But that extra $500, it is like $1,350. $1,350 is just so much money for what it offers, in my personal opinion and in my budget. But $100 for an Xbox? Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take that any day. It is so funny to me, though, that my younger brother could not fathom me wanting to buy it off of him. Like, he was, like, answering every other iteration of the question how much that he could possibly think of because he thought, why would I want to buy an Xbox from him? He is an Xbox hater for life. He loves his PlayStation. 90% of it is because of the controller. He is very passionately against Xbox, but he just hates the Xbox controller and he just really likes his PlayStation controller, and that's literally the reason why he hates Xbox so much. I just think his beef with Xbox is pretty funny, but it really worked out in my favor. Hopefully one day I'll be able to get a handheld Windows or Steam device. That would be so lovely, and I do know that that would be really beneficial for me, but for now, I'm just so happy that I have this Xbox. Like, I cannot say that enough. I'm beaming with joy. I'm so excited to go to Best Buy and GameStop later today, and I'm really excited to stop working and stop having to record so I can get back to playing GTA 3. I've been having so much fun, even if the game is kind of hard. I think it's a skill issue. I think I'm just really bad at it, but I do fail missions like 2 to 3 times before I'm able to complete them. But it's so charming. I love the jankiness of it, the character models, the voice acting, all of it. I'm just obsessed. Also, driving in that game is low-key fun. I really like driving, and I never thought I'd really be into driving, which is kind of funny. Why would I get GTA? I don't even know. I guess because in my head, like, driving and running people over is like a different genre than like just driving on the streets, but it's kind of making me curious about like other driving games because it's actually quite fun. Like my boyfriend yesterday, I told him and there was a handbrake and I didn't really know what was the difference between using the handbrake versus the reverse option, because that makes you also brake, and he said that you can drift with it. I've been trying to practice that, but mostly I just sort of like stop abruptly, so I don't really know how to drift yet, but that's a skill that I could learn, and it kind of makes me curious about like other driving games. It seems kind of fun, and I do like drifting in Mario Kart, but I never really thought of myself as a driving gamer. Anyways, this is a very rambly video. The point of it is to say, expect some videos on my Xbox collection, and more than anything, I just want to know, what do you recommend I play? What do you recommend I pick up? And what do you think of this decision overall? Like I don't think anyone is going to tell me you're an idiot for buying $100 new Xbox. But if I did have to buy a new Xbox, would you have said just spend the extra money and get the Steam Deck rather than getting the Xbox? Let me know. And I'm so excited for this year in gaming. There's so many incredible things to look forward to. I'm so happy, and I feel like a real gamer now, you know? And for so long of using like a horrible laptop or having to use an iPad because I didn't have a computer at all, this past year I have reached so many milestones, and it's incredible, and I'm so happy, and I love gaming, and this is a wonderful hobby. Let me know what you've been playing. Thank you so much for watching this video. Consider subscribing, commenting, whatever, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Have a lovely rest of your day. Goodbye.